Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us after that short break. We are now in our business bookend segment. And this week's book we wanted to choose was Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Similar to, I feel like Rich Dad Poor Dad, an oldie but a goodie. It's been around, but it's timeless because of, I feel like, the principles that it has. And I just kind of gave one of my key takeaways away is basing our ideas and our central figures around principles, because those don't change like our emotions change. It doesn't change like our moods, right? And if we stick to principles, those can be consistent pieces to draw us back in, to remember what to focus on. A second piece that's always stuck with me is being proactive, and I think that's the first rule there for Seven Habits of Highly Effective People is be proactive, take the initiative, stop waiting for things to happen and say, well, I hope I'm successful someday. Like, start that system to put you in that space. And that's one that's definitely stuck with me since I read that book, is being proactive. A third one that I'll jump in before I ask Jay what stuck with him is seek first to understand before you're understood. Ask other people where they're coming from, because understandably, as humans, we all want to so often give our take, and say, this is what I think. And I think anytime we're navigating and trying to be successful, it's in my opinion more important to understand, if I have people around me, I want to get their input. Ultimately, I'll make the final decision, but I still want to get their input. So, Jay, with that being said, thoughts?
Yeah, I think you touched on two big ones: to be proactive and seek first to understand, and then be understood. I think that especially if you're in sales or small business, a lot of the time you're constantly thinking of how can I get people to buy something versus how can I solve someone else's problem, which is a very hard mindset to kind of change on. But at the end of the day, that small mindset shift is going to produce so much more business that doesn't require really selling, because you're now solving problems instead of just being like, oh, I can do this, or my product can do this for you, or my service can do that or this for you. So it's separating your product from your sales, and instead using your product or service to help someone solve a problem they're having. That's where the service part of any product, gadget, or gizmo is where its value comes from, is because it solves a problem. So I think we get sometimes caught up in being able to make a sale that we forget that there's a problem that our product or service is supposed to solve. And so that's where the seek first to understand really plays into, and something that is, I think, really important with business. If you're not out there to solve a problem, then what are you doing?
Yeah. And that term sales, being the space that we occupy, unfortunately has got such a bad rap over the years, but its true definition of selling initially really ultimately means to give something of value. I think unfortunately it's just taken out of context and been played and spun so many different ways, and so many of them negatively, that people want to get rid of that word selling, because I like buying things, but I don't want to be sold. Right.
And to that point too, if someone came in and offered you $1 million winning lottery ticket, you're not going to complain. You're not going to be like, this jerk just came in and gave me $1 million lottery ticket. But at the same time, it's like, if your product isn't, I mean, $1 million is solving a lot of problems. That's why no one's having any conflicts with that, with someone bringing that up. But at the same time, if all you're trying to do is sell someone a ticket, it's like, no, I don't want your stupid ticket, because there's no solution to it. It's not a win-win. It's not there's which is another concept of the book. There's nothing that your product is now doing for that person. Instead, you're just trying to sell something. So I think that's the big thing that a lot of us need to understand. Like a real estate, I'm not selling a house, I'm helping someone get a home. like those mind that the way that that's even phrased just sounds better, but that mind shift of I want to help people get a home versus I want to get people a mortgage. Like, that's a lot harder to sell a mortgage versus help someone get a home.
Right.
So, Nick, on that, kind of what do you do generally to help stay in that proper mindset, and how do you make sure that you're doing all these things that 7 levels or 7 habits, 7 levels of communication, different book, 7 habits of highly effective people. Those 7 habits, how do you kind of make sure that you implement those on a weekly, daily, hourly basis?
I think I'm to the point now I do it more, to be honest, subconsciously than I do consciously, just because I've been intentional about, shoot, I can remember reading that book, as I've read a lot of them, and I'm nerdy in the sense of I'll highlight things, and I don't get rid of books easily or quickly. I'll keep them around, and I will literally go back and want to look back on them. Bree makes fun of me every now and then. She's like, "Why do you keep so many books for?" Or I'll like be rereading, not the whole book, but certain pieces. And she's like, "What did I like about that book again?" And I'll look back, and it's like, I made notes to myself. It's like, I need to remember that. So it's going back sometimes on things to remember it, or being intentional about what I read in the sense of books that are similar but still different, right? Another one, Atomic Habits. I feel like that has similarities to 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but so it's similar, but it's still distinctly different. So the fact that I like to read some of those similar ideas, because they'll present this maybe the same topic of be proactive, but it'll create a different frame or example that you're like, I like that. And it gave you a different way to think about the exact same topic. So those are some things that come to mind for me. How about yourself in terms of trying to remember good information?
Yeah, I'm very systems oriented. And so I think like the be proactive or the win-win or I kind of build those into the systems inadvertently, because it's a system allows me to stick to what I actually, the points I want to get across, or how I want to actually help that person, or, move the conversation forward. And so, I think if you're like me and have that ADHD brain, the crack puppy brain, is hard to focus on, or you forget what you have to say sometimes, building out systems and building out scripts to kind of make sure that you hit the points that you know are important and that you want to get across. That's what works for me. It allows me to stay in front of people and continue to add value to them in their business or to them in their families' lives. And which is a big goal for me and any of my clients or professional partners. And so, that's how I stick to it. Nick, why don't you give us some parting words? I don't want to hit all 7 habits of highly effective people. People need to actually read the book.
Right.
But
one last one that I want to conclude with is that stuck with me. And it's not one of the 7 habits per se, but it is a detail that has stuck with me. The difference of your circle of influence and your circle of concern. I think those are, and that's an interesting idea to be mindful of, because I think so many of us get caught up in our level of concern, and that dominates our day. And look no further than the news, right? It's like, how dare that person talk about that, or they don't care about this. And it's like, you have no influence over that. Stop letting that ruin your day or ruin the work you should be setting out to do, and you're getting so caught up in somebody else that you have no control over. And that's an interesting one to me, that there again, it's that self-awareness, right? Knowing what is in my level of concern bubble and what is in my circle of influence bubble. I think those are really important characteristics, but it goes back to self-awareness, to be mindful of, okay, I can't control that, so stop worrying about it. A funny line that's always stuck with me from it was a Tom Hanks movie, The Spy on the Bridge, I think. And it was a guy that he was talking to Tom Hanks in a cellar, and Tom Hanks said, "Hey, this is what's going to happen to you. Aren't you worried?" And he's like, "Would it help? You know, would it help if I'm worried?" Was the repetitive question that he put to him, and it's like, fair point, because I think
very fair.
Yeah, you think of so many situations of like, well, aren't you scared that might happen? It's like, would it help if I was scared? Like, do I really need to overreact because it's not going to help the situation? So
yeah,
not really, because I'm more worried about the solution. I'm more worried about the outcome of it, of this, what's going to happen, and the things that I have control over. So important pieces to remember along the way, I think. So
yep, yeah, definitely. Love it. Love the discussion. Always a fan of any of these books that we bring up. So be sure to check them out. Don't just listen to our 10 minutes. That's not even Spark Notes. like go and actually read the book, get the audiobook.
I was just going to say, you don't even have to read it.
Yeah.
Just listen to the dang thing.
YouTube it. Most of the time you can find the dang audiobook on YouTube. You don't even have to pay money for it. I mean, come on, help the author out if you appreciated it.
Yes.
Go buy it. But the less ethical way, you can just YouTube the audiobook. Yep. So get out there, enjoy it. Thanks again for listening today. We are on episode 15. We've been
16.
doing this now for 15. This is 15.
16.
Oof. 16. Which is now 4 months then. Whew.
Yeah.
Goodness. Yeah. This has been fun. So feel free to subscribe to wherever you're listening to this so that you can also just get updates whenever we have a new episode drop, and you can watch or listen to it, or subscribe to our Quick Hits podcast, which is each one of these little segments just boiled down to just one at a time, so you can listen to it on your drive to or from work. So we're trying to make it easier for you. Any of the stuff that we just talked about, you can check out in the description below. But Nick, thanks again for joining me this week. It's always a pleasure, and I'll let you finish with your famous outro.
Guys, thank you for joining. As Jay said, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share if it's something that benefited you. And wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll catch you here next week.